Hey, good morning, everyone. All right, so we started with the concepts of analytics, and I have explained you that the analytics is really a very important part of CRM. And for some of the business, this is the most extensive feature, a business would use from Salesforce CRM. In some of the cases, for some of the users, they purely using only this functionality of Salesforce, the reports and the dashboards. So it's really important to have a grip, have hands-on knowledge on what are the different types of reports, what are the different features, the Salesforce is providing you as a part of analytics. And if you really get your hands-on onto this, if you become that person, who is very good in formulating the things and displaying the data in the statistical manner, believe me, you would going to become very popular among your peers, among the clients. So if you can represent your data very effectively, if you can represent the client data very effectively with the help of reports, with the help of, and you can display the chat component, you can create dashboards, you would be identified as someone who really have a good understanding of how data should be get represented statistically, right? So analytics, that's really a very important feature of Salesforce. There are so many different CRMs as well, but not every CRM is as vast as the Salesforce is. The most beautiful part of Salesforce is, it tries to cover almost every requirement of a business. And if I don't know whether you have seen this or not, but if you do a little research on Salesforce, and you would going to provide, I mean, you're going to see that Salesforce would provide a 360 degree view for a business. So how exactly, I mean, this keyword, okay, how exactly Salesforce would manage, the 360 view, what we can have to, what you can say. You might came across, I mean, if you do a little research on Salesforce, you might came across a term called as 360-degree view. Now, when I talk, I mean, those who know the mathematics, they know what does it means by a 360 degree. Actually, that is what, that's a degree of a circle. That's a degree of a circle. 360. If I partitionize this into maybe two half, that would become 180. That's the reason this is your 90-degree angle. This is your 45-degree angle. I'm not teaching you mathematics, don't worry. I'm very bad into this, and have a very bad experiences with the maths. So I obviously am not that good teacher. Yeah, Samir Khan in our group, he's very good in mathematics. He's actually holding PhD in statistics. So he's the guy who really, love this all. I'm not one. I just try to explain you the concepts. So when Salesforce says, yeah, I would provide you a 360-degree view for your business, that would actually means, Salesforce can provide you everything. Salesforce could provide you everything whatever you require for your business. If you are doing business for the customers, you're having a good client base, you wanted them that my clients, all of my customers, they would really feel happy to be associated with me. You have for your client satisfaction, you have to do so many activities. Salesforce would help you out to do that. It have so many extensive features that would connect you directly to your customers, and you could maintain a very good relations with them. We are having so many things like email integrations are there, and there are, and there are so many different facilities with the sales cloud, with the service cloud, that you could maintain a direct relations with your customers. This would help you out to have a good relationships with your customer. That would obviously going to boost up your customer databases. Customer base is getting increased. They are getting more and more faith on your business. So if you are something like a B2C, business to customers, Salesforce would help you out in that. Or if you are even B2B, that means you're providing the services to some another business. Whatever you are providing it to some another business so that that business could stand. And you are doing a business for another business. That means you actually is B2B. Even if you are holding that portfolio, I mean, if your organization would deal with some other organizations, that is what is your clients. They are your clients. In that case, there also, Salesforce is providing extensive features of CRM, which would help them to build up the relations with their customers. And we would become that technology partner. We would become that baseline. We would become that ground where they would stand their businesses, they would stand their services. Salesforce would become that ground. So basically, it's like, you cannot simply take analytics just as a reports and dashboard. I'm just trying to make you impress, right? What I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to make you guys impressed. That you should feel what is that extensive feature, what I'm learning. This analytics, this reportings, creations of these tables. I don't wanted you to mess around like, this is something I just have to study, or it's a table and all and all. Just the representations I could download and all I can do. No, I wanted you to feel that, I wanted you to have that feeling somewhere in your mind, somewhere in your heart, that what I'm learning. If there are so many different tools, you won't believe, the companies would buy, company would get separate licenses just for the analytics. There are so many organizations, there are so many CRM, they don't have this analytics. It is not the part of their CRM. And so the organization, if they wanted to have that reportings and all that, they used to buy this. I'm not sure whether you guys know something called as advanced Excel. You can go and Google this out. There are so many reporting tools are there. There are so many dashboard tools are there. Organization, they are buying this and they pay additional amount, or maybe they are having some ERP already installed with them. They are using certain ERPs already. They are using certain CRM softwares, but that is not capable of this reportings and dashboards. And so because the organization have a need into this, so they would buy a separate tool for this. But that is what is an out-of-box functionality of Salesforce. When I say out-of-box, it actually means whatever it provides inside Salesforce CRM. Something which is inside is out of the box. What is this terminology, right? Something which is inside is actually out of the box. English is really a funny language. हिंदी में सब कुछ क्लियर रहता है. जो अंदर है वो अंदर है, जो बाहर है वो बाहर है. But whenever in a technology, if something is being there as a part of feature, as a part of built-in functionality, we call it out-of-box feature. It actually means, when you open the box, you're going to find it. It's something like that. When somebody would say, oh, it's an out-of-box thing, it actually means, you want to find this feature, you have to do the unboxings. Like You I mean, you brought something from the internet. Somebody would deliver that product to you, but that would be wrapped in a box. You just have to do the unboxing. And when you do the unboxing, whatever you find, something that is called as out of the box functionality. So don't get confused with this. All English is really a funny language. It's a confusing language, but we can have, we can study that, Anyways, this is not again an English class. This is not a mathematics class. It's Saturday. And every Saturday I feel very energetic, right? That's the reason I am not, I mean, starting directly. I'm actually trying to tell you the features. And I'm trying to make you aware that you are learning something which is very, very essential feature, a very, very drastic feature, something which is very, impressive feature of Salesforce CRM. When you, maybe in coming days, maybe in coming years, but definitely with every one of you, there would be a time comes, when you would be asked, you would be asked to give a demonstration of this technology. And this happens with everyone. If you are good in English, if you are good in your communication part, for a new client, if he doesn't know about the Salesforce, and being a technical person, because you know Salesforce, and your manager, maybe a project manager, maybe the account holder, or maybe somebody in a senior person who would request you that kindly create a presentation of all of the out of box functionalities of the Salesforce, and you would have to demonstrate them in front of the client, in front of the stakeholders, so that our client would become impressed with this technology, and we are going to grab this project into our bucket. So immediately you would feel, अरे बाप रे, ये क्या बोल दिया इसने. I would be the person who has to demonstrate this. But this is going to happen with every one of us. Believe me, those who are born as a leader, somewhere in their life they have to lead. So if you are that much confident, and that you should be, ये सभी में होना चाहिए. You should be that person, who can talk with anybody. I was like, I tell you my story. I was a person from my childhood itself. I was very talkative person. And it was something like, I can talk. I mean, this is something which my parents told to me, that when you were a child, if we take you somewhere, like we go to the market, we go to the shopping, you start chatting with anybody. So that's a strange person, that maybe you're saying it for the first time, but you start having a good conversations with them. So I was always a person who loved to talk. And that was the reason, when I travel, I can start with any topic, though I'm having not a zero knowledge about this. I can start. That is just, so this nature actually, I continue this with my profession over here in Sun. I mean, yesterday itself I was talking with one of the product owner. So I started him like, so where do you go with the vacation? How you celebrate your Christmas? So what you do there in France? I mean, how I knew about Americans, like how they celebrate their Christmas. I'm a little bit unaware about you guys. So this is how, like, you start building a good relations. So it might happen that they would ask you to create a presentation what the Salesforce provide you. And I'll let me first of all finish with this topic, and then you would be amazed to see that we are having a very good tool for analytics in Salesforce. These reports and dashboards, what you are learning right now, with few of the examples, small examples I'm not taking very big statistical problems, but in real time, I would going to show you that, these would help you out. These would help you out to showcase like, oh, this is something we provide as a part of Salesforce. And if you give us a chance to build a CRM for you, you certainly would not require to buy something for your analytics, for maintaining, for creating your reports. then we don't just have only single type of report. We are having, 3, 4 different types of reports. And every type of report would be like, you could describe something, you could describe your data and like this, like this, like this, and like that. You could also represent, you could create the graphs, you could create line chart, bar chart, pie chart, funnel chart, scatter chart, gate charts. You would be going to learn every. And this all, you are going to demonstrate to them. Analytics is the most impressive part of whenever I have given this so many times. When the client says we are very new to the Salesforce and we really don't have a good understanding of this technology, could you please help us out to say, like, what are the things so that we could take maximum benefit of acquiring this technology? I design my presentations where I spatially take the advantages of analytics. This is really something very important, guys, what you are learning. So don't ever underestimate this. It is not just about creating reports and all. This is really a very good feature of Salesforce, right? We started it yesterday by creating a simple tabular report on few of the records of account. I have showed you a few more functionalities like how exactly you can schedule a report. How could you download that? And a few more little settings like removing the copyright informations and all. Right. Let's now elaborate because you have seen. I told you that if you open a report, there is certain filter sections over there. There are literally 3 different types of filters: field filter, cross filter, and a row limit filter. How exactly to apply this everything? Let me try to show you something. All right, with the separate use cases. So let's configure once again a tabular report. Maybe on the account object itself, where we wanted to represent not every data. I mean, if you go with this, if you run this report, see this report right now, this report right now. I mean, what is that? Rating. It's not rating. Let me show. Let me just add one column over here. The rating. Oh, sorry, we already have it. See, uh, when you see this, I mean, when you see this report is displaying you all of the records from the account object. It is displaying you those records of account where there is no rating. It's also displaying you those records of account where the rating is hot or maybe warm or maybe cold. But let's say the client wanted to see only those records of account where the rating is hot. Now this could be anything. See, understand. I'm telling you to see the moon. I'm not telling you to see my finger, which is pointing to the moon, right? What I'm telling you to understand is the concept, not example. It could be anything. For example, I can tell you, kindly display me only those accounts of record where industry is banking. Just don't display me do not display me everything. Just try to display me in a report only those account record where the industry is banking. I wanted you to just display me these 5 to 6 records. How exactly you are going to filter them out? I mean, all other records, how you are going to filter them out? I could ask you anything. I could ask you, for example, just try to display me only those records of account where the priority of customer is high. Then you have to filter out all others. You shouldn't display this. You shouldn't even display this. Just display those records in this report. Like let's say the report name is high priority account records. Let's say the report name is high priority account record. So in this, you obviously would require to display only those accounts where the priority is high. So how exactly, you are going to customize the reports according to this kind of filter? Now let's see that. So I would be creating a new report, a separate report for this. I would be going with accounts, and let me select the account for this and then create. All right. So I wanted to see all accounts without any custom ranges. I wanted to see all time. So it would be like all accounts and all time accounts. Now, out of this all accounts, now I wanted to apply a filter. But let me first of all make the selection on the columns what I wanted to display on this report. I don't want to see an account owner type also rating. I wanted because that is important. Last, no, I just don't want it. This apart from rating, let me try to bring few more columns like I wanted to see the phone active status as well, approval status now. Or maybe I also wanted to see the industry and let's say ownership and let's say the billing city of this. All right. So let's consider that these many other columns, I wanted them to be get displayed on the report. And now you can see that there are, all 26 records. Hmm. All right. So all 26 records, they are getting displayed. Now I wanted to apply the filter. So I'll go back. For going back, I'll just put customize. Just make a click over here. And you'll come back to something called as a report editor, a report builder. This complete, there's a name. This complete is called as report builder because you would build a report over here. So it's called as report builder, pretty straightforward kind of thing. Now there's a filter section. There are three types of filters, although field filter, cross filter, and a row limit filter. I wanted to apply a field filter. There are two ways to do that. One is like, just simply add. Click on to add. It would bring this field filter. That is the first one. Second would be like open it and click on field filter. It's one and same. See, when it's a matter of creating a field filter, when it's a matter of applying a field filter, actually you don't require to go like this. If you even just press this add button, it would bring field filter for you. हाँ, अगर आपको क्रॉस फिल्टर और या फिर मान के चलिए कि रो लिमिट फिल्टर अप्लाई करना है, that time you have to go like this only. If you press this add button, it would always apply. It would always create a field filter. So with that, I mean, right now I just wanted to have this, but in the coming examples, I would also require cross and row limit. So there's no another way. If you wanted to apply a cross filter, maybe a row limit filter, there's no another way. You have to go like this only. Anyways, so I'm just clicking onto this add button. It would create a field filter area for you. All right. So I wanted to filter out all these 26 records. I simply don't want to display everything out of this. Rather, I wanted to display only those accounts where the rating is hot because that is what is mentioned. All the hot rating customers only. How I'm going to apply this? So first of all, select the field. You wanted to filter out based on what field? These all are the fields, these all are the fields of account. See, I wanted this to be get filtered out based on rating. So I'm selecting rating. Now the rating should equals to what? So I would be selecting as hot. I just make all the conditions and let me now press this OK button. As soon as you press this, you're going to find this whole data would be get filtered out and you're going to see only those which you wanted to be get displayed. See, so out of now let me run this report. So now if I run this report, I can now see only those account records where the rating is hot. The rating is hot, right? That is what this means by a field filter. Now, can I apply one more? Yes, of course. There's no limit. I mean, for example, you again wanted to have, apart from this, like from the hot, and let's say I wanted to see only hot banking accounts, or the other accounts where the industry is like anything apart from the banking. They wanted to filter them out. I can even do that as well. I wanted to filter with based on like industry. And I wanted to see only those records where the industry should equals to banking. Let me now press this OK button. See. So how much, how much you want, up to what level you wanted to filter out. You can definitely impose those conditions over here. You don't want it to have this, just clear it out. And it would remove that filter, right? Let me try to save this first of all. So it was like tabular report, but the use case number is 2. Use case number 2. And then I would be storing this into one of the custom folder what we have created. So jar management reports, and let's save it out. So that's how we can apply a filter, particularly a field filter. Let me try to solve these two as well. And we're going to see another reports in the next session, obviously, but let's complete with the tabular part today. Now, the next is like, configure once again a tabular report. But here we wanted to represent accounts who are having some cases associated to that. So let's say if I go with, for example, account object, and I go with like all accounts. Now there are so many accounts records over here. Now let me try to click some random account so that you would have what I wanted to say to you. See, I randomly have clicked some of the account record. Now, if this is one of the account record, Dixon, now this account doesn't have any cases. I rather wanted to display only those accounts. I wanted to form a report in such a way that it should display me only those accounts which is having some related cases to them. It could be anything, all right? This is just a case example. Could be an opportunity, could be something else as well. Or maybe you wanted to see only those hiring managers, they are having some positions. You want to see those candidates, those who applied for a position, right? It could be anything, all right? So I would skip this. I would skip this. This don't have any. I would skip this as well. I would skip this as well. I would even skip this as well. I would not show them into the report because these account doesn't have any related cases. But like this, as you can see, edge communication. So right, this is one of the account which is having few cases associated to them. So I wanted to show that a kind of account. I'll include this in my report. Edge communication, we're going to see the name. United Oil and Gas, it is also having some cases. I'll also include this. My test doesn't have it. I'll skip that. But this is what is your use case. So let's design one of the report. Let me go with new report. Let me go with account. And great. And let me bring whatever the columns I wanted. Type rating. Industry. Rather, annual revenue I wanted to include. Industry, yes. Rating is already there. Ownership also I want to see. I wanted to see like phone, fax, website, active status and all this, right? Then I wanted to see all accounts of all time accounts. And now if I try to run this report, you're going to see all data, all of the records of this object, right? Now let me apply a filter over here. So I go back and customize this. I'll come back to report builder. And here I wish to apply a filter in such a way that it should display me only those account records. It would show me only those account records, which is having certain cases associated to it. And not every one of them has have. There are few of the account which is having this. I wanted to display them. I wanted them only those account to be the part of this report who's having certain cases associated. So how to do that? Yeah, there's a filter for this. Cross filter. Cross filter. Do you remember cross object field update action I told you? When you try to update, I mean, for example, if you, and that was there in workflows and what was second, the process builder. It was there as a part of field update action. Hmm. As part of field update action, you could have a same object field update and a cross object field update. So when you got this ability that your automation is getting fired on a separate object, and it is a oh my goodness, and then it's updating the field of another object. That time you call this as what? As a cross object field update. So similar to that, there is a filter called cross filter, cross filter. So you have to select this. See, accounts with or without opportunities. Try to give you the example so that you could understand कि यार ये filter का use क्या हो सकता है. Accounts with or maybe without opportunities. Something similar to what you want. What do you want? Accounts with or without. I wanted to see the accounts with all of the related objects displayed over here, all of them, whichever is related to account, every name come over here. So I wanted to see those accounts which are related with what? Related with the cases. And so select cases from here. You can select opportunities, contacts, contracts, right? Depends what you want. I wanted to see only those account records with or without, with cases. You can also select without if you require that. I just apply that. This has been applied, and now if I go and I run this report, so out of that 26 records, there are only 10 records, which are having some cases associated to it. Just a moment. Okay. So these are the only 10 records, which is associated to cases. If you wanted to cross-verify, you just make random clicks. You're going to find them. Don't worry. This is absolutely fine. I mean, you're going to see only those records of account. See, Burlington is having cases. United Oil and Gas, that is also having it. Every record, it's absolutely sure. Don't have to have any ambiguity in mind. It's absolutely sure. No confusions. So these are those account records which are having certain cases associated. How you form it? How you form it? By using a cross filter. Let me save this as well. Otherwise, I'll forgot. Use case number not 4, actually 3. And I would store this into Charmo. Let me go with last one. Only 3 accounts with the industry as banking. Not every account, just 3. Any random 3. All right. So I would create a new report. Account. Select the account from here. Once again, create. I wanted to see all accounts, all time accounts. Remove unnecessary columns from here. And I wanted to, let's say, bring the industry over here itself. And let me now try to run this report. So you're going to see all records. Now, out of this all records, you wanted to see first thing, all of the banking records, let's say. All of the records where the industry is banking. So I'll go back and customize this once again. I'll apply a field filter. So I wanted to see only those accounts where the value of industry should equals to, not equals to, contains, I wanted equals. So industry should equals to what? Should equals to banking. All right. Now, if I try to apply this filter, you can see that there are 6 records maybe. Let me run this report. How many? Yeah, 6. There are 6 records where the industry is banking. Now, what is mentioned there is use cases like, don't display everything, just rather display only three. Only three. How you are going to stop getting everybody as displayed? So again, you have to apply a filter. Now, this time the filter would become a row limit. Limit the number of rows which you wanted to be get displayed. How many of them? Let's say I wanted to display them three. Based on what? Based on account name, you can sort it out, right? I mean, how many columns you're having, industry rating and all that, everything. Only those column names would appear. So I wanted them to be get sorted from based on account name and ascending or descending. So I'd go with ascending. And okay, sorry, I'm feeling very bad about my health today. So this is what and after you committed those changes, now let's go and run this report. See, the three are displayed and rest three others. Top three would be getting displayed and all others, they are getting removed from this report. So this is what I'll row limit, and that's how to apply that. Store this into jar management, save it. So this was all about tabular report only, right? This was all about tabular. In the next session, I could take it by tomorrow if I would be free. I'm going to inform you by EOD because if any plan would come, I'll not take it. Otherwise, I could probably take your class by tomorrow morning as well. So I'm going to know. Just keep an eye on your work on your WhatsApp group. I could probably announce a class. If I not, if I to see, if I won't announce it, that means you don't have a class. You can enjoy your sleep by the morning. Otherwise, if I would, I mean, if I put up a class, I'm going to drop a message over there, right? So in the next session, from the next session, we're going to start with the summary report. And let me now give you this command. You can now unmute yourself. Yes. Any questions? Any questions? Based on this, based on anything you wanted to discuss, no problem. Yes. Any questions? अरे कुछ तो होगा पूछने के लिए. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? या तो सब सो रहे हैं. I would going to take one class, well, I would ask every one of you to on your camera. Definitely. एक क्लास तो मैं ऐसी लूंगा ही लूंगा जब मैं सबके वीडियो कैमरा ऑन करवाऊंगा. एंड आई एम गोइंग टू सी कि मैं अकेले ही जागा रहता हूँ, तुम लोग क्या करते हो. How you sit in a class. That would I'm going to see. So let me stop this recording first of all. I don't want this things to get recorded.